My father said, I need to thank you for something you don't even know you did. I thought I knew exactly how my wedding day would go. I had spent months planning every detail the flowers, the music, the food, the timeline. I knew who would cry during the ceremony, my mom, who would dance the most at the reception, my college friends, and even who would try to sneak extra slices of cake, my uncle, of course. And for the most part, everything did happen just as I imagined. The ceremony was beautiful, the weather was perfect, and the reception started off relaxed and joyful. I remember standing in my dress looking at my husband thinking, this is exactly what I dreamed of. Then it was time for the speeches. My dad had been nervous about his for weeks. He kept joking that he didn't know what to say, that he'd probably just embarrass me with baby stories or forget his words. I reassured him he'd do fine, but honestly, I expected the usual. Some light jokes, maybe a funny memory about me as a kid, then something sweet about my husband and me as a couple. At first, that's exactly what he did. He made everyone laugh with a story about me insisting on wearing a princess costume to kindergarten. He told a quick joke about how he never thought any man could live up to his standards for his little girl. Everyone was smiling, glasses in hand, nodding along. But then he paused. He looked right at my husband and his voice changed. It went softer, steadier. He said, I need to thank you for something you don't even know you did. The room went completely still. My husband blinked, confused, and I froze. I had no idea what Dad meant. I hadn't expected anything like this. My dad went on to explain that years ago, before my husband and I were even dating, I went through one of the hardest seasons of my life. I had shut out most of my family, retreated into myself, and kept everyone at a distance. They were worried sick about me, but couldn't find a way to reach me. And then he said that this young man, back then just her friend, was there for her every single day. He didn't come with big speeches or try to fix everything. He just showed up, quietly, consistently, making sure she was okay. He reminded her she wasn't alone. I felt my throat tighten instantly. I remembered that time so vividly, but I never realized my dad had seen what my friend, now my husband, did for me. And I never thought my dad would bring it up here, in front of everyone. As Dad spoke, I heard people at the tables sniffle. Guests dabbed their eyes with napkins. My bridesmaids were openly crying. My mom held her hands over her mouth, and when I glanced at my husband, I saw him sitting there, stunned, his face caught between shock and emotion. I completely broke down. I was sobbing, not just from the memory of that difficult time, but from the realization that my dad truly understood how much my husband had meant to me even back then. He saw the quiet devotion, the kind of love that doesn't need to announce itself, but proves itself in presence, day after day. Dad finished by raising his glass and saying, that's the man I know will always stand by my daughter. That's why I trust him with her heart. The applause was soft at first, then stronger, as everyone wiped their eyes and clinked glasses. But the energy in the room had shifted. It wasn't just a party anymore. It felt sacred, like we were all witnessing something deeper than music and food and dancing. For the rest of the night, people kept coming up to me saying, I've never heard a speech like that. Some told me it was the most moving wedding moment they'd ever seen. Even now, weeks later, I replay it in my head and feel that lump in my throat all over again. I had expected laughter, a few tears, and then dancing. I hadn't expected my dad to stand in front of everyone and lay bare something so vulnerable, something that tied together my past struggles with my present happiness. That moment, my father looking at my husband, thanking him for saving me in ways none of us could, is burned into my memory forever. It was the greatest gift he could have given me on my wedding day.